Why are shoppers boycotting Target this week? There's a calendar for who is boycotting Target on it? No, hey, I'm going down to Target. I'm going to load up because we boycotting the rest of the month starting tomorrow. And then I can pick back up next month. So it's kind of like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of thing. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Somebody do something to me, I do something to them. That's just common sense.
So you believe in getting even?
Hell to the yeah.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, like a lot of you, over the course of the last few weeks, I have been bombarded with Target memes.
Cocoon! Cocoon! Cocoon!
But I be stealing from Target. Hey, yeah. Fuck them people I steal from Target. Put that shirt in my backpack. Put that wallet in my knapsack. Put that honey in my pocket.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Now, I was nosy and I decided to go on and check. You know how you check on an old friend when y'all had a falling out just to make sure they backsliding? Don't act like I'm the only one. Let me make sure Rodney's still doing bad. Don't act like I'm the only one that does that. So I went to go check on Target just to see how bad they're doing so I could feel better about myself. And what do I see? Target faces another massive boycott from consumers. What went wrong at Target? Target struggles to stop spiral amid consumer backlash. This is my favorite. Why are shoppers boycotting Target this week? Here's what to know. Why are shoppers boycotting Target this week? There's a calendar for who is boycotting Target on it? No, hey, I'm going down to Target. I'm going to load up because we boycotting the rest of the month starting tomorrow. And then I can pick back up next month. So it's kind of like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of thing. Bruh. So we got this one. Target faces another massive boycott from consumers. Target's had a rough year. It's about to get more challenging. The retail giant has suffered backlash from consumers, especially over the past few months, shortly after it decided to scale back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in January. And we'll get there. This involved withdrawing its participation in the Human Rights Campaign survey, which tracks LGBTQ plus corporate policies and practices. It also discontinued its 3-year DEI goals and racial equity action and change initiatives, which involved advancing the careers of Black employees, instituting anti-racism training for team members, promoting Black-owned businesses, and sourcing products from Black suppliers. Y'all done withdrew from the Human Rights Campaign. Y'all just out here just collecting enemies like infinity rings. Target about to be out here like a comedian bombing. Hey, where my ladies at? Hey, make some noise. Yeah, make some noise. Anybody married? Make some noise. All right. Hey, where my white people?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Now here's another one. It's June, which usually means rainbows on store shelves and brand campaigns celebrating Pride Month. But this year, Target customers noticed something very different. According to X and Reddit users, instead of its typical front and center Pride displays, the retailer's stores are now covered in red, white, and blue with patriotic gear, American flag themed decor, and USA branded merchandise. Ah, yes, that's right. Who doesn't feel the inspiration to purchase USA branded merchandise every June. Yes, that made sense to somebody apparently. But that's not to say that they won't try and throw something together real quick. Here we see a nice little understated take pride display right there. So I guess they figured if they just put more colors in, then it would lose all of its meaning. I guess that was the idea. Now, Target was already down bad due to the heel turn that the black community had experienced.
Blaming DEI, that's what one of America's biggest companies is doing, as Target reported a slump in sales. The CEO pointing fingers in part at what he called the reaction to the updates we shared on belonging in January. Now, that statement is according to CNBC.
I'm going to just have to stop us right there. I believe belonging was the name of their DEI initiatives, but I love the sentence, the updates we made to belonging. The updates we made to just welcoming everybody and everybody below. We made some strategic updates to the idea of belonging. You know, it depends on what you mean by belong. You know what I mean? We just had to update belonging for some, not for everybody, but for some. Belonging is in quotes.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
See, what we really mean is belonging constitutes the front of the store where you pay the money. You know what I mean? Where you definitely belong where you pay the money. When it comes to the actual merchandise and display, walking around feeling welcome. You know what I mean? That's what we made the updates. That's where the updates kick in.
What the CEO was referring to was translated much more bluntly by one analyst who said, quote, Target is struggling after strategic missteps on DEI. And that is because people across the country have been boycotting the retail giant since March. And this is the man leading the growing effort.
It is not because of tariffs. It is not because of the stock market. It is because of the power of black unification and the black dollar. $12 trillion in spending power is not anything that we should laugh at.
That's Pastor Jamal Bryant of Atlanta, and he joins me now. And Pastor Bryant, I'm glad to have you back. When we first spoke, it was when you were in the very early days of this. And now here we are, the Target CEO saying he's not satisfied with the recent performance. He attributes it in part to the, quote, updates they shared on belonging. What's your response to that?
I'm shocked he even admitted that. You know what I mean? I'm shocked that they even admitted just how much of a problem DEI has been. Remember I said it was like checking on an old friend and see if they still down bad? This like you open up Instagram and see they got a status update that said life was going fine until I had that falling out with Reese. You like, wow, he really said all that? Wow. Yeah. I'm gonna have a good night tonight. I'd have made something up.
That all of this is avoidable. Brian is fully aware that the African-American spending dollar has a whole lot of muscle, and his betrayal to our community has repercussions and consequences. As a consequence, the stock has plummeted, that valuation has gone down, and even his own salary has been slashed, all because he's been dishonorable and not integrous with the black community.
So how long do you intend to continue this?
We are not going back.
Amazon, Walmart, what y'all do? This our business. No, get it. And then I see Timo over there. No, we talking about this amongst them. This got nothing to do with y'all. I mean, it kind of do, but we'll let y'all know.
Until something shifts. We've got staying power. We've got a model. The Montgomery bus boycott 70 years ago went 381 days. And our community is resolved and focused and intentional that we're not going to spend our dollars where we're not honored and where we're not appreciated.
Pastor Bryant, yeah, I don't mean to snitch, but a couple of us not abiding by the boycott. Yeah.
member of a church and your church is a part of the National Baptist Convention USA stand up. All right, y'all got some homework, because I need y'all to hit your national president and say, how in the hell can the National Baptist Convention USA have the audacity and the unmitigated gall to release a press release today announcing a partnership they are doing with Target while black folks is in the middle of boycotting Target?
You didn't hear this from me. Okay, this was sent to me. I got nothing to do with it.
Why he got you up in here and we doing a boycott? We ain't supposed to be in here. Sis, what you doing up in here? We supposed to be boycotting. Oh, you know we ain't supposed to be up in here. You ain't here. That's what I'm talking about. I'm proud of you. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I'm proud of you. And I came to talk to us so we can think better of ourselves. Yes.
I better wait. My daughter did say that. I'm going to wait.
So other companies that have scaled back their DEI programs to varying degrees include Lowe's, McDonald's, Walmart, Amazon in some respects.
Amazon, get up out of here. You heard your name. You heard your name. Go get Timu over there. Yeah, tell them we got a spot.
So are you looking at expanding this beyond Target?
Oh, no, we're very clear. Over 17 companies have walked away from diversity, equity, and inclusion. But we decided with resolve and intentionality that we were going to do one at a time. Target is the first, it is not the last. And another company is going to be coming on the radar in the next couple of weeks.
In the next couple of weeks, there'll be another one. All right.
Ooh, yeah. You say next couple of weeks? Next couple of weeks? All right, I gotta finish this up. I gotta get my shopping. And I don't know where he about to go, so I'm buying it all up. It's Black Friday right now for me.
So I want to ask you one thing, though, when you talk about the power of the black dollar, and it is just the flip side, right? That you're showing that power when it comes to Target, but there are black entrepreneurs who are also selling at Target who are negatively impacted by this as well. A new report from the Wall Street Journal, they went through sales of Play Pits, which is black owned. They said sales at Target of that product have fallen about 30% since April. Beautiful Curly Me also attributing reduced sales to your boycott. So what do you say to those business owners, right, who are members of the communities that you are conducting this boycott on behalf of?
No, we're so mindful of them. That's why we partnered with the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce. Over 250,000 people have signed up at targetfast.org. And when they do so, we send them a digital directory of over 150,000 black businesses across the country. We want to support those businesses. We're just not going to do it at Target. And so we'll do it directly through them and through their online platforms. Additionally, over Resurrection Weekend, 5 mega churches transformed their space into mega malls, a bullseye black markets. So 100 vendors would go into those respective cities and support. We want to see them thrive and we want to see them soar, and we're going to put our muscle and our money behind them.
All right. Well, Pastor Bryant, I appreciate your time and thank you very much.
Now, that was an excellent answer from Pastor Bryant, because that is a very thorny issue. That is a very tricky thing to navigate. However, one thing I will cede is that if the involvement of black creators was something that would prevent this kind of action moving forward, then people would just get their twos infused, mark themselves safe, and then we would be prevented from any widespread action. So I appreciate him working around that. Now, as far as just how devastating this has been to Target, based on the 2025 Q1 earnings report, the retailer showed a 3.1% drop in merchandise sales and a 3.8% decline in comparable store sales.
As of late, the discount department store has lost market share. And while its customers are spending about the same per quarter, Walmart and Costco's customers are spending even more. Between April 2024 and April 2025, Target lost nearly half of its share price.
Don't ask for nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Don't ask for nothing. You can't get nothing from me.
If I get into it with them, I gotta live here and you don't. Don't be getting it, you gonna get me in trouble.
And I can tell you this, to the CEO who laid it at the feet of the changing DEI policy, that was his decision, they finna drag you.
Breaking business news, Target is officially a sinking ship. The boycotts are absolutely working. So this is Brian Cornell, the CEO of Target, and this man is the corporate version of I care about DEI until it gets inconvenient. This man right here had everyone believing that diversity, equity, and inclusion were the center of Target's brand. He gave speeches, rolled out initiatives, put up signs, but then quietly pulled the plug on all of it the second the pressure hit. The Target boycotts are working and Target is a sinking ship, and Brian Cornell is the ultimate toxic boss. Number one of why he's a toxic boss, he made DEI sound like a core value and then bailed. He pledged $2 million to support Black-owned businesses. They had the REACH program. They promoted supplier diversity. Now all of that's been shut down or rebranded to some weird corporate jargon speak. Essentially, it's gone. And instead of just owning it, he blamed corporate strategy, as if DEI is some seasonal marketing trend. It's classic toxic leadership, overpromise, underdeliver, and pretend it was never part of the plan. He totally abandoned employees and ethical brand partners. There are brands right now that are exclusive to Target that absolutely believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, but they are locked in. They are stuck in Target. And do you guys remember the backlash about the Pride displays when customers were coming in being really hostile? The employees were the ones that had to face that backlash, that physical violence, the emotional abuse, all of those things. And upper management just totally folded because DEI was never a value for Target. It was a branding campaign. And now Brian wants to do a little PR cleanup. And he's meeting with civil rights activist Al Sharpton, which I'm sure is just going to be a bunch of corporate speak for sorry. I'm just going to say this, Target heavily underestimated their consumer base. Like real OGs that supported the Pride collections and Black History Month collections and the Black brands when they came in and supported DEI. The kind of people that care about those things, that would want to shop in stores that support those things, very clearly underestimate their own customer base. We absolutely meant it when we said that we stood for DEI. We have to continue to stand behind that no matter whatever pretty words this man comes up with. We are not going back.
Damn, Target done fuck around and found out. You done fuck around and found out. You say 680 mil in losses. That's crazy. Just go ahead and bankrupt the place. Just go ahead and bankrupt the place. But Target, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think y'all gonna shake back. The folks who was rocking with y'all, who was spending money, doing them hauls and all that, y'all turned your back on them. You turned your back on them. Now you're feeling the wrath. You're feeling the pain. Hey, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. But y'all ain't think it was gonna be that bad, did you? You couldn't have known it was gonna be this bad, but it is.
Targets sound real bad, and I love how we as a community have committed to this.
See, as you can see, the more you around, the more you're gonna find out.
But I don't love how they're already saying that they're going to slip for all of 2025, because in my mind, I hear that as we don't plan on doing anything about this. And I don't like that. I feel like there's a few things Target needs to do right now to just get back on track. The first is fire their CEO and put someone at the helm that has the values that Target has stood for in the past. And someone with like a proven track record of the values where we have receipts. They also need to meet all the demands from this boycott. The $2 billion that they pledged to spend with Black businesses in 2020, depositing this $250 million to 23 Black-owned banks, establishing community retail centers at 10 HBCUs, and y'all know I love HBCUs. And most importantly, bringing back DEI.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
That's so... No, Miss Seeley, you don't want to go through what I've been through. Keep this in mind, too. Turning your back on DEI, when the idea behind DEI is righting historical wrongs. You're trying to course correct from systemic invisibility and systemic inequity when it comes to our participation in America's capitalist system. But apparently, that was only something that you were committed to as long as it dovetailed with your own participation in America's capitalist system. That is what I'm forced, because the second the winds changed or the waves came head on in the form of the Trump administration, all of a sudden the historic inequity was no longer a priority or anything that you were willing to stand on. So when the same ideologies and the same kinds of forces that created the kinds of historical inequities that DEI programs were seeking to address re-raised themselves, you did the thing that the companies did then that got us into this place. And that was apparent to just about everybody, not just us.
Target's earnings are dipping. The CEO said boycotts over the company's abandonment of some diversity measures contributed to a drop of their quarterly earnings. But Target actually thought that they can spit in our faces. They thought they can cut their DEI programs, shut down Reach, and throw Black and brown communities under the bus. This right here is a reckoning, Target. This is to Target right here. You do not abandon your values for a profit just so you could appease the buffoon in command. To all my people out there, continue this boycott. It's not over. Sales are dropping, their stocks are bleeding. They're scrambling to slap discounts on everything in their aisles and beg for mercy. But mercy comes with action. You can't buy that at some clearance rack. Do not shop at Target, do not tap their phones, do not use their parking lots. Let their aisles rot, let their lights dim, let every single Target like this right here, that bullseye, let it go dark in shame. Target stockholders and their leadership wanted to test us. Sink their ship. And that's it.
Boycotts are booming. Grassroots groups are taking aim at corporate greed and the rollback of DEI initiatives using their wallets. The strategy, fewer shoppers, less sales, and more pressure. But is it working? Here's what we know now. Are consumer boycotts hitting corporations where it hurts?
There's been a mixed bag of results for these boycotts. Target stock has definitely plummeted. On January 21st, the stock price was at $137.91. It has gone as low as about $88.76, roughly 35.6% lower. In some cases, some data has been showing that the sales or the traffic has been steady or even increased.
How are corporations responding to the wave of boycotts?
So for the most part, many of the companies have been pretty silent. Amazon has declined comment each time. The Target CEO actually sent an internal memo to his staff saying that he recognized that the silence that Target has had and not commenting at all about these boycotts also gives, some uncertainty.
Could there be a tipping point coming in the fight for corporate DEI?
So it remains to be seen whether or not these businesses and retailers are going to actually make a change that the consumers want. So far, they haven't. The Target CEO in April called for a meeting with Al Sharpton, founder and president of the National Action Network, as well as the Reverend Jamal Bryant, the faith leader who's been leading the Target fast. But there hasn't been any decision made or any policies that have changed since then.
Now, one thing I want to address, we saw the earnings decrease, we've seen the stock decrease, but she said that the foot traffic in some places has been steady or actually increased. Y'all been scouting what to buy when the boycott goes away? Is that what y'all been? No, you have been, because the foot traffic, y'all been scouting what?
Have you heard of DEI? No. You haven't? Okay. Part of the reason why I'm not going to purchase this because of how she treated me and your staff since I've been here. And so I'm just going to leave. Let her help you take it all back. I'm done.
That's smart, actually. That's smart. I can't even be that mad. 'Cause it didn't violate boycott, right? It didn't. I can't even be that mad at that, actually. But y'all really go hard in the paint for brand recognition. That's crazy. Now Target, while being silent officially when it comes to any stances on these boycotts, It's not to say they haven't made some overtures to the black community. It's been a couple of hey big head texts that we've seen already this year.
Dear black people, we're sorry.
Hi, I'm Karen, Director of Strategic Consumer Engagement here at Target. Let's talk about choices. Specifically, the brilliant choice we made to abruptly end all our DEI programs. We just wanted to bend the knee to Trump and his base. You know, in the spirit of good old-fashioned racism. Apparently, diversity, equity, and inclusion became too political, too risky, too, woke. So we tossed it and thought no one would notice. Turns out, when you cut the few programs that acknowledge systemic inequity, the very people you're erasing do notice, and quickly. To our surprise, black consumers were spending $12 million a day with us. Every single day. That's not a community, that's a lifeline. Well, guess what happened next? Boycotts, hashtags, viral callouts, a sudden eerie silence in aisles that used to be full. It was like someone unplugged the soul of the store. Literally. We panicked, we regrouped, and we did what every mega corporation does in a PR crisis. We made a t-shirt. This plain, no effort whatsoever. Thank Black Women t-shirt is the perfect apology, with the added insult of trying to turn a profit in the process. There. Fixed it. We could have reinstated DEI initiatives, or publicly owned the mistake. Or maybe, I don't know, listen to black customers. But no, shirts are cheaper. Look, we're not saying we got it right. We're just saying we'd really like your money back. And your trust, but mostly your money. So please, come back. Bring the culture, the coins, the community. And if not, we'll file for bankruptcy, just like our president. Shop Target. We're back to black.
Can you imagine rolling around with a Thank Black Women t-shirt from Target after they rolled their DEI policy? I'm surprised y'all didn't just go with the Club 92% t-shirt. Yeah, I mean, why don't you just co-opt that too? But then again, that kind of flies because the 92% voted against Trump, so he probably would have canceled that one. Yeah, he probably would have put a phone call in and said no. I mean, really the transparency. And I'm not mad at the sister because I know I got merch on my website, reesewaters.com. One thing I know is hard to get like models for all of your stuff. So a lot of times that stuff is interchangeable. So those people don't even really be in those outfits. So I hope that's how that went down. But I mean, the thought process behind thinking that the Thank Black Woman t-shirt would fix it. It would be like if you just put brown hands on. They did that?
Target, Buki. You not fooling anybody. Whose hands is these? Now, I don't know if anybody still follows Target, but you should, because these ads is getting crazy. Now, I was scrolling through my FYP, and this video had popped up, and I'm like, whose melanated hand is popping open this Olipop? And I kind of ignored it and didn't think anything of it until maybe like 6 more scrolls later, this pops up. It was another Target ad and another black hand. And then I just went directly to their page because I was like, are they trying to do something? Are they trying to like, psych up us? And I saw a bunch of ads. Most of their recent ad campaigns are just people shopping in Target. No faces, no voices, just very melanated hands doing Target stuff. Like this here, it's like an ASMR restocking video. And they know how much we love that cashmere one. They know how much we love this. Stop playing with us, Target. But again, look, another melanated hand. And then another one here.
Those look AI. Now, on the one hand, these could be Target employees who don't want to mess up a good check or benefits or whatever they got that refuse to be shown on camera, which is crazy. Which is crazy. If you think about it, you like, hey, I'm not willing to lose my job over this, but you're not going to show me. No. I'm not going to be your token. No, I'm not going to be on your front of the brochure after you done roll back the DEI. It could be employees that don't want to show it. Or, I don't know, man. Some of those hands look a little suspect. Some of those hands look a little, is that AI? You got AI hands on your stuff, Target? I don't know. Some of those wrinkles didn't look right. That's all I know. And by the way, because I know the internet is so good. Y'all clock that jewelry? Okay, good. Y'all clock it because the jewelry placement. I got a couple of aunties that I just want to do a side-by-side comparison. Make sure they not no Target hand models on the low. We gotta watch that. But at the end of the day, this whole foray that I made into checking out Target, and going to see your old friend is still down bad. Worse than I thought. You know, worse than I thought. And admitting that that was the reason when things went south for them. You know, that is a level of satisfaction you don't get every day. It's not. It's a level of satisfaction and joy and refreshment you typically only get on Sundays when you leave church. And by the way, Pastor Bryant, could you take us out, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, I ain't even mad. I feel bad for the brown people who thought they were better than black people, who are now facing deportation. I feel bad for the white women who didn't realize they were the real DEI hires and were gonna lose their job. I feel bad for Columbia and Emory and Johns Hopkins losing $300, $400, and $800 million, but HBCUs ain't never had that kind of money. I feel bad for the Tesla dealerships that gotta close because they lost $900 billion since December because they forgot it ain't electricity, it's people that power this nation. I feel bad for them. A little bit. Until I remember the words of that black sister with cornrows. Until you do right by me, nothing you do is gonna work. I tried to feel bad.
Hey, Target, where you going? Why y'all leaving church? Oh, because he didn't mention you specifically? We don't feel bad. We don't. But he did mention you when he came to You Do Right By Me, the Whoopi Goldberg. That was all about y'all. Yeah. Look up Mister. That's how it's going. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thanks so much for watching the video. Yes, that's right. Your boy is back from vacation, feeling refreshed and ready to go.
So I'm gonna get on this plane or not?
Yes, you do.
All right. Yeah. So everyone's gonna shut up, and we're gonna say this once, and we're only gonna say it again because we're frustrated as hell.
And that definitely means you should be on the lookout for some new Way of Waters content. So make sure you check that out and subscribe to my second channel at Way of Waters. But while I was gone, y'all definitely held me down, and I appreciate that. I've mentioned before that I premiere all my videos, but did you know it actually gives me a ranking of who's doing the most work in the chat? They done messed around and passed Miss Ray. Shout out to All Things Go. I see Nick Adams, Non-Point in here, Patricia Jackson, Yolanda Gibson, Carney, my man Dank, I know Regina, I'm Just Jay, Roberta, and Alice in Kenzo Land. I see Honey Love, Jamal, Kat, Quentin, Tammy, Katrine, and Muriel rounding out the top 20.
Never could have made it without you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
Make sure you be on the lookout for notifications when I schedule my video releases and my premieres so you can rise up that leaderboard. And while we're on the topic of support, I gotta show some love to the Mod Squad. No, not that Mod Squad. I'm talking about our Mod Squad. That is Mariana, Dank, Deshauna, Roberta, Free Me, Larry, Chernobyl, and of course, Miss Ray, who have made this channel a place where so many people feel comfortable being themselves, expressing, sharing, growing, and learning together. And I, for one, am eternally grateful to all of you for your contribution.